It was evening when over the skies of Delhi, two aircraft carrying 349 people were moving toward each other. One of these planes was about to land at Delhi airport, while the other had taken off from Delhi. Both pilots were receiving instructions from the same air traffic controller, and a gap of 1,000 feet was also maintained between them, but somehow, instead of crossing each other, with a 1,000-foot gap, they collided mid-air. Where did the mistake happen, and who was responsible? When both pilots were receiving instructions from air traffic control, and there was a proper gap between them, then how did they collide in such a vast airspace? This is the tragic story of an accident that the world today knows as the worst mid-air collision. Welcome once again to Nobel's creation. Viewers, do you know that at any given minute, there are between 15,000 to 25,000 aircraft in the sky? According to flight radar, if we talk about total flights, more than 100,000 flights land around the world every day. So the question arises that if there are so many aircraft in the sky at all times, then why don't they collide? The answer is air traffic controllers and the airways in the sky. Just like there are highways on land, in the same way there are imaginary airways in the sky. And air traffic controllers manage aircraft on those airways, which have different rules. For example, an airway named 68 Mauritania Nugias connects Europe to Asia. On this airway, flights that are eastbound, meaning those going from Europe to Dubai, and then to India and China, are assigned odd-numbered altitudes: 35,000 feet, 37,000 feet, and 39,000 feet. On the same airway, traffic that is westbound, meaning those going back to Europe, is assigned even-numbered altitudes: 34,000, 36,000, and 38,000 feet. These altitude instructions are given to pilots by the air traffic controller present in that region, or ATC. In this way, thousands of aircraft use these airway flight levels at all times and safely cross each other in the sky with a difference of 1,000 or 2,000 feet. And this is a very normal thing. But on the evening of November 12, 1996, over the city of Delhi, India, what happened? That two passenger-filled aircraft collided with each other. One of these aircraft was a Kazakhstan Airlines aviation 76, which took off from Shymkent International Airport, Kazakhstan, at 3:55 p.m. Indian time. After a journey of 3.5 hours, it had to land at Delhi International Airport. It was a chartered flight with 27 passengers and 10 crew members. These people were merchants who were traveling to India for trade. On the other hand, a Saudi Airlines Boeing 747 had landed at Delhi Airport at the same time. It was to take off again at 6 p.m. after loading passengers. For Jeddah, most of the passengers were Indian laborers who worked in that Arab country. The Saudi plane had a total of 312 people on board, 289 passengers and 23 crew members. If you look at it, these two flights may have never seen each other. Their origins were different, and their destinations were different. But the 349 people on board had no idea that in a few hours they would meet in such a terrifying way in this vast airspace. About 2.5 hours later at 6:23 p.m., Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907 had reached the Lukla waypoint. These waypoints work just like an intersection or roundabout on roads, where different airways cross each other. That point is normally called a waypoint, but this is an imaginary point from where airplanes can turn. Now here it is very important to understand two airways. One international airway is coming from Kazakhstan to India, on which Flight 1907 traveled all the way to India. And there is another airway called G452, in radio language, Gulf 452. This airway connects India and China to Gulf countries, on which Saudi Airlines had to travel from Delhi to Jeddah. These two airways intersect over Haryana, and this point is called the Lukla Waypoint. This point is located 328 kilometers west of Delhi Airport. Any aircraft traveling on these airways, if it needs to land in Delhi, then from the Lukla Waypoint, it climbs onto another smaller airway called the Delhi Star. At 6:23 p.m., when Flight 1907 reached the Lukla Waypoint, its crew contacted Delhi ATC and requested permission to join the Delhi Star route. At that time, their altitude was 25,000 feet, and Delhi ATC gave them permission to descend to flight level 200, which is 20,000 feet. Now Flight 1907 came down from the international airway and joined the Delhi Star and reduced its altitude accordingly. At exactly the same time at 6:32 p.m., Saudi Airlines Boeing 747 Flight SV-763 took off after getting permission from the Delhi Air Traffic Controller. Its captain was 44-year-old Khalid Al-Shubaili. The first officer was 39-year-old Nazir Khan, and the 36-year-old flight engineer Ahmed Idris. The Saudi Airlines crew was completely fresh and was flying their first flight after 70 hours of rest. After takeoff, ATC gave the Saudi aircraft permission to climb to 10,000 feet. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907 was 137 kilometers away from the airport. Here, one important thing to understand is that now the Saudi Airlines aircraft also had to travel via the Delhi Star route toward the Lukla Waypoint, and Flight 1907 was also on the same Delhi Star moving toward Delhi International Airport. Both of these flight crews were communicating with the same air traffic controller at Delhi ATC, whose name was VK Dutta, to prevent collision between them. It was Dutta's job to keep both aircraft on the same flight path, but at different altitudes. At 6:34 p.m., Dutta gave the Kazakh plane permission to descend to 15,000 feet. At that time, they were 100 kilometers away from Delhi. 2 minutes later, at 6:36 p.m., Dutta gave the Saudi plane, which was earlier at 10,000 feet, permission to climb to 14,000 feet. Both aircraft were now on the same flight path, facing each other, but with a gap of 1,000 feet. At 6:38 p.m., the Saudi crew reported to Dutta that they had reached 14,000 feet and requested permission to climb further, but because the Kazakh plane would cross above them with a gap of 1,000 feet, that is why VK Dutta instructed the Saudi plane to hold at 14,000 feet for now, to which the first officer of the Saudi plane replied, Saudi SV-763 will maintain 140. 140 means 14,000 feet. Now it is very important to know one thing about the Kazakhstan Airlines flight crew. It included a 44-year-old captain, a 36-year-old first officer, a 50-year-old flight engineer, a 51-year-old navigator, and most importantly, a 41-year-old radio operator. This flight had a radio operator because the entire crew only spoke Russian, and internationally ATC instructions are given in English, and the job of this radio operator was to translate ATC instructions into the Russian language. At 6:39 p.m., the Kazakh plane reported that they had descended to 15,000 feet. At that time, VK Dutta said these exact words: identified traffic 12 o'clock, reciprocal Saudi Boeing 747, 10 miles, likely to cross in another 5 miles. Report if in sight. The simple meaning of this was that at your 12 o'clock, which means directly in front of you, a Saudi Airlines Boeing 747 is coming from the opposite direction. It is about 10 nautical miles, which is approximately 18.5 kilometers away. It will likely cross your path within the next 5 nautical miles. If you see that aircraft with your own eyes, then inform us. But the radio operator of the Kazakh aircraft did not properly understand this message, so he asked for clarification. Upon this, Dutta replied, "Traffic is at 8 miles, level 140, meaning the aircraft was 8 nautical miles away, at an altitude of 14,000 feet. On this, the radio operator of the Kazakh plane said, not even half a minute had passed after this message, when another message came on ATC. A U.S. Air Force cargo flight, which was nearby, informed Delhi ATC that they had seen a massive explosion ahead. Dutta immediately tried to contact both the Saudi and Kazakh flights, but there was no response. Unfortunately, both aircraft had collided. The left wing of the Kazakh aircraft collided with the left wing of the Saudi aircraft, and both wings were cut apart from the middle. The Boeing 747 started spiraling downward. Its broken wing was on fire, and in the air itself, the aircraft broke into 2 parts and fell at supersonic speed into Dani village in Haryana. The Kazakhstan aircraft, with half a wing and half a vertical stabilizer, went into a flat spin and crashed in Bairohar village in Haryana. In this horrific and heart-wrenching accident, not a single person out of the 349 people on board both aircraft survived. The news of this accident pushed the entire world into shock. Local and international media started running headlines, and on everyone's tongue, there was only one question, that when there was a 1,000-foot gap between both aircraft, then how did they collide? The investigation revealed that at 6:39 p.m., when the Kazakh aircraft reported to Delhi ATC that they had reached 15,000 feet. At that time, in reality, they were at 16,348 feet and were continuously descending. Either the radio operator translated the message incorrectly, or the captain did not understand it properly. At the moment when they were supposed to reach 15,000 feet and hold their altitude, the captain instead descended the aircraft to 14,000 feet, which was the same level as the Saudi plane. Now it is also possible that the Kazakh pilot heard the instruction of 15,000 feet, but did not understand that he had to hold at that altitude. And secondly, the radio operator was also taking time to translate the English message into Russian when Dutta clearly told them that a Saudi Airlines aircraft was in front of them. The radio operator did not understand this message the first time. The second time, he did understand it, but by the time he conveyed the message to the pilot and they made the necessary adjustments, it was already too late. The investigation also found some fault on ATC's side, because when 2 aircraft are on the same flight path in opposite directions, the gap between them should be 2,000 feet, whereas Dutta had officially kept a gap of 1,000 feet. And at the time when this accident happened, Delhi ATC's radar could show the distance of aircraft, but there was no system installed to determine their altitude. This accident became the cause of many new rules in the aviation industry. One of them is the mandatory use of TCAS. TCAS means Traffic Collision Avoidance System, which is a system that automatically prevents aircraft from colliding. After this accident, it was made mandatory for all large commercial aircraft to have TCAS. Apart from this, the International Civil Aviation Organization also made it mandatory for all pilots to be able to speak and understand English with proficiency. And at international airports, including those in India, new radar systems were made mandatory, which would not only show the distance of aircraft, but also calculate their altitude. We hope you will also like and share this video. Thank you very much for your love-filled comments. See you in the next amazing video.